Is it recording?
I don't know why you just don't do YouTube consistently.
I know everybody keeps telling me to do that. I promise.
Because your Wimpy Christian needs to start on YouTube.
Hello everyone. This is another episode of Story Time. I am your host, Joslyn Coleman, Story by Ori, and today I have a wonderful guest. She is a part of my Don't Be a Wimpy Christian series. As I said in my last episode, I told you all that this season is a little bit different. I am going to be interviewing people that I don't consider are wimpy Christians. They're people that are stepping out on faith, they're bold, they're loving, and they inspire me so much. And today is none other than Joslyn Coleman.
Oh.
How are you, girl?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me, Miss Oriana.
Thank you for accepting. You know, people don't understand. I'm filling up the list as I go, so I still need a yes. And if I don't get a yes, I gotta keep going. But thankfully, God has provided and gave me a yes to now my second guest to be a part of the show. So, Joslyn, you do a lot of things. But today, I want to talk about something that's yours. Let's talk about Your Beauty LLC.
Okay, so Your Beauty LLC originally was Bottom Line Beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't flow as fluently as I liked it to. So I got to thinking about what do most women want to feel confident about?
Mm-hmm.
They want to feel confident about their appearance. They want to feel confident about their spirituality and their physique and just overall their beauty.
Yeah.
So your beauty is literally about your beauty. It's literally about your beauty. It's more than hair. It's more than makeup. It's more than going to the gym consistently. It's more like
it's an internal.
It's an internal thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah.
Well,
that's that.
I want to say that Your Beauty has showcased on Joslyn Coleman's hair. Today I was styled by none other than Joslyn Coleman, and she's sharing a signature look. I love how you say that it's not about the hair, it's not about the makeup, but when you look good,
you feel
good. You do things even in a better spirit. And I want to say, just sitting here knowing that my hair is crisp, my edges are laid, knowing that you did that. I knew I was beautiful on the inside, but it feels good for the external to be just as beautiful and flourishing. So let's get into more detail. I know off camera we discussed about you providing hair services for cancer patients and people with leukemia and things. And I know leukemia and cancer is the same thing, but you get the point. Alopecia, yeah. So share with me kind of how that started, because you shared off camera that it's all about helping others.
Yes. So it's all about really just helping women and men, to feel secure about who they are. So obviously, I'm not sure if people know this, but my mom was diagnosed with cancer.
I didn't know.
Maybe my ninth grade year, and by the grace of God, she went through remission. She's clear.
Yeah.
She lost a lot of her edges, all of her hair at the top, and anyone who knows my mom knows that she's confident regardless.
Yeah, she don't care.
She cares nothing about what you
care.
think, but I listened to actually understand versus listening to reply.
Yeah.
And one day my mom and I were talking, and I could just hear the sadness in her voice. I can hear the comparison in her voice.
Yeah.
And I've been braiding since I was 7. I've been doing hair pretty much my entire life.
I was one of her test dummies.
She was one of my test dummies.
I'm ride or die, y'all.
What? Listen, I can say, here's some clippers. Can I try this? Or okay. But I love it because, so, we were talking, and she basically, I could hear it in her voice. That's my mom, so obviously I can feel it.
Yeah.
And so I just said, what if I could make her a wig? And that's where my first wig really just, my first wig inspiration came from. Made her wig. She felt more confident about herself. She felt beautiful. Mm-hmm. So I didn't come up with Your Beauty at that time. Think about, that God, He operates in stages.
Yes.
And He'll give you a vision, but He won't give you the entire blueprint up front.
Yeah.
He'll just give you a step.
Yeah.
Just read the first chapter.
Yeah.
That's it.
When I was talking to my last guest, I called it the inkling. You feel it, but you don't do nothing about it. You just recognize.
that
it's
it.
different.
That's it.
And you keep it where it's at.
You got to,
Yeah.
you know, and you just nurture it. It's like a seed. He gives you that seed. And the last thing to grow on a fruit tree is what? The fruit.
Yep.
So, you know, you got to plant that seed, and my mom was that seed for me.
Yeah.
Having that conversation was the seed for your beauty.
Yeah.
And, you know, the tagline is exude confidence, change your world. Originally, I wanted to be change the world, but I learned that I can't change the world. I can't change you. I can't change the viewers, but I can change me.
Yes.
And by changing who I am and changing my world, hopefully the people around me who are connected to me, it'll influence them to change their world, and vice versa. So a domino effect. Hence, exude confidence of who you are, changing your world one day at a time. So that's really your beauty, you know. Just feel beautiful, embrace it, and exude it, and
It'll come.
It'll come, and your world will change daily.
Yeah. So some of the services you currently have now is just the hair maintenance.
Yes.
You also know how to do makeup, but I don't know if you're adding it to your.
No.
But I know she knows how to do makeup because she's done my makeup and Bill's makeup before, and her own and things of that nature. But right now it's focusing on hair. But I love how you said off camera, and I'm sharing it because it was so good. You said right now I just got one part of it, but God might give you the next part an hour from now, or He might give it to me
Next
tomorrow.
year.
And that's a lot about not being a wimpy Christian. Like the fact that you've already started and you know it's gonna grow, you know it's gonna be bigger than your wildest imagination. That is courage, that is confidence, and that is something that I want to highlight, and I want to encourage you all to continue to do. Like Joslyn said, like I'm continuing to say, God doesn't give you the full picture yet, but He gives you something. He gives you a step, He gives you an inkling. You have to go in that. And 10 years from now, you'll look back at that inkling or that step that you made and thank God that He didn't show you the full picture.
Absolutely.
Because we also mentioned that we're not who we're going to be yet anyway.
Nope.
We're not future 5-year Joslyn, 5-year Ori. We're not. So God can only show us so much for us to even handle, because I know sometimes He'll show me a step and I feel like I'm not even prepared to take that one. So if you all don't get anything else, know that God is preparing you for this step, because the next step is going to take you to a whole nother level. So you have to be right mentally for this one.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Like when you made that post, so it was maybe 2-3 weeks ago, maybe. Joslyn already meeting with investors. This is how much she believes in her vision. It's not even full force yet, but she believes in her vision to the point where I'm going to meet with these people and I'm going to share my vision with people that I trust, people that I feel like will invest in me, and you're already doing it. How did you feel?
I felt like I wanted to piss my pants.
Well, you were nervous. So.
I felt like I wanted to die.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was so prepared the night
Yeah.
before. I was so ready the weeks before. I was so excited. And then I got there and I felt uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you have to get used to being uncomfortable if you ever think that you're going to go to that next
Yes.
level, because we don't know who we're going to be tomorrow.
We don't.
All we know is who we are today.
Yeah.
And, you know, being in that moment, being in that room with those people who already have well over 6-7 figures, who already have multiple businesses, and little old me, you know,
Yeah.
I may be
They're about to listen to little old you.
I may be a star in my own mind, but they're like, who is this? You know, so I felt intimidated.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally had to talk to God. I had to pray. I had to say, God, just speak through me. Give me the strength. Give me the strength. And literally, it went wonderfully. You know, it went well. And you know, it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. That's all I can say. And I realized, like, I have to get out of my own way. I have to. It's one thing to doubt yourself, but I think it's worse to get in your own way.
Yeah.
It's so much worse because, like I was telling you, we can't ask for direction and ask God to give us this and guide us here, but we're not even prepared to become that person who deserves that.
Yes.
You know, who's willing to make that step to get into that role, you know? So that meeting with the investors was that Joslyn, another version of Joslyn being born.
Yeah.
So that was another seed that I was able to plant. And, you know, I just have to continue to water it. I have to continue to shine light on it.
And know that God is going to continue to use you when the time comes.
Absolutely.
So although you came to that meeting and you felt unprepared, you felt nervous, you felt like pissing on yourself, when it was time to speak, God came through. And we're the lives that we live as Christians is to prove that nobody did it but God.
Absolutely.
You can't give yourself credit because you admitted how you felt when you arrived. But once you started speaking, you knew it wasn't you no more.
No.
So that's what I continue to try to say. Like, as we continue to go, God is already moving 10 steps ahead of us. He's showing us something that He's going to give us the power to complete anyway. So if that doesn't give us confidence, I don't know what will. And I'm so proud of how you mentioned it. Like, He just started speaking to me. It went wonderfully. Because when you first started talking, I was like, oh Lord, maybe I shouldn't have asked that question. Because she said she was nervous and all that stuff.
Yes.
But the end goal was so much greater.
It was
much greater.
It was worth it.
I'm proud.
Thank you.
I am so proud.
I'm proud. Thank you, Lori.
I'm so proud of you. I was about to ask you, is there anything else you want to say to continue to encourage everyone?
Well, what I would like to say is report to God. I would like to say, your mom, she plays an important role in your life. I imagine your best friend, your lover.
Yeah.
Everyone has their opinion, and some of them can be biased. But the one entity, the one person I feel like will always be neutral and always give you what's best for you is God. So I can't tell you verbatim what to do to make your day a lot better, but what I can tell you is to talk to Him, and He can do that for you. And before you try and make that first step into your business, you have to first know who you are.
Yes.
You have to know
your worth.
Know your worth.
Yes.
Know your worth.
Yes.
Excuse me. And so, this is cool.
You good. So Joslyn is basically saying God is going to continue to show you who you are. If you're reporting to Him, He's giving you nothing but good in return. How amazing is it to know we have an entity, as you're calling it, out there that has nothing but good for us? Like, even if we go through bad, He can turn it into good. Even on our darkest days, it's not the darkest days that we could have had if we wasn't with Him. How amazing is that to know?
It is amazing to know that it can always be worse. It is amazing to know that no matter how dark you may feel like you are in, someone else is in a darker place.
Yeah.
And that alone should give you hope. That should give you fuel. It should give you
grace and
energy.
mercy to know that God spared your life enough to make your life way better than
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because some people's situation, like you said, are way worse.
Your darkness can be someone else's light.
Yeah.
So I personally, this is fun.
It is. Like, I want to share, just because I know this is a part of the calling God has for me. I don't know where this show is going to go. I could be on Facebook 10 years from now still doing the same thing. I'm not sure. But I know that He wants me doing this. And I know every time I have a conversation with someone, they say what you said. They enjoyed it. It was uplifting. They were encouraged. So if I can do that and continue to do that, then God, that's what I'm going to do. But one of the things that I enjoyed was when we were off camera and I shared with you, I have all my problems, right? But I listened to you share some of your struggles. And in that moment, y'all, I was like, I needed to be here for this moment. I needed to be a listening ear. Just for God to remind me, or your life ain't that bad. And not saying Joslyn was, not saying what she shared with me was bad, but He just reminded me, He humbled me to know that you're going to be okay. And the things that you have and the things you've learned, I was able to give you something. Because I've had similar experiences. I've been that person before. So I was able to give you something. So sometimes what we go through, almost every time, I really say all the time, what you go through isn't for you. It's for that next person that's going to come along and do what you did today. Y'all, we had the salon to ourselves. And I want to give a shout out to the owner of the salon and things of that nature so people will know where to come find you and to find her as well. But we had today, on a Saturday, of this recording, this Saturday that we're recording this, we had the salon to ourselves. And it just felt so amazing to be in a full office with you or salon with you, just sharing and listening. And knowing that I had something to give. Like, that fueled me. And sometimes we don't think about it like that. We don't think that we have anything to give anyone until God puts us in the position to give something to someone. So I just want to say, like, even before we did this interview, you've always been an inspiration, and you will continue to be an inspiration.
Thank you.
Do not stop. You hear me? Like, this is back in the day, or now, or in the future. It's still gonna tell you the same thing. Do not stop. You know your worth, so you need to just remember it. If y'all know y'all worth already, just remember it. Don't forget your worth. To keep going into whatever direction God is calling you. I'm excited to hear what the next step is for your beauty.
I'm so excited to
My heart
share it.
My heart is so warm. My heart is so warm, Joslyn. I feel like you want to say something though.
I did. I mean, I didn't want to say anything. I do feel like God has put it into my heart, but I can't like process it right now. I feel like, I don't want to force it either.
Oh yeah.
So, because I mean, it may just be my flesh talking. But I will say this may be my flesh talking. I will say your beauty is like you were saying, knowing your worth. Your beauty is a part of that. Knowing that you're beautiful without the wigs. Knowing you're beautiful without, the slim waist, thick hips. Knowing you're beautiful without, just without the materialistic things of this world, because God said be in it.
We need it.
He said be in the world, not of it. So your beauty is your beauty exude confidence, change your world is literally from inside out. So you can have the nicest hair, the nicest lashes, but if you're not who you are, if you don't feel beautiful on the inside, you will not exude confidence or exude beauty on the outside. So that goes back to knowing your worth. So that's really just what I wanted to say. And also, God loves you. Like, if no one else loves you, if you don't even love you sometimes, He loves you.
And know that the things that you're doing that are good, that God is telling you to do, it's going to just create a domino effect. Like, you're saying yours. But once you start to change things in you and you're making better decisions for yourself, it's going to affect those around you. So, Joslyn, when you think of the question, don't be a wimpy Christian, what does that mean to you?
To me, I feel like it means don't be an inconsistent Christian. Don't be a believer who walks with God but hold hands with the devil. Because a lot of us do that. I'm guilty. Subconsciously. But once you know better, you start to do better, right? Or else it's just called ignorance. So I feel like being a wimpy Christian means, you pick and choose when you want to follow His commandments. You pick and choose when you want to, be righteous.
Because you're saved.
Because you're saved by His
now
name.
It's like you gotta start living the life that you just so proclaim.
It's a job. It's a lifestyle. It's not something you just do and post on your Instagram bio. Revelations 2 verse. Like it's more than that. It's a lifestyle. So being a wimpy Christian, it just means you're not fully Christianized. Like you're not a Christian, in my mind. That's how I take it. Like, so
Wow. And I love your take on it, because when I thought about it, I thought of things that were holding back my fears, my doubts, past failures, like what if this happens again, and things of that nature. So, and if you look up the word wimpy, fear is in it. I think the word doubt is in it, but I added procrastination to it. I can now add inconsistency to it. So many different words can fall under what wimpy is. And if you can relate to any of that, I don't want you to be that. So it's don't be a wimpy Christian.
Exactly.
You need to be all of who God called you to be. And let me tell y'all something. That doesn't mean you're going to wake up tomorrow perfect. It's a daily renewal. And if God knows your heart, if He sees that you're making an effort consistently, you're going to start progressing and you don't even realize it. You're going to become better before you even know it. And that's kind of what we were sharing off camera. Like, back in the day, we didn't talk about God. Like, we was at each other's house
talking about people.
I remember you used to tell me what I need to do to be cool. It's like, oh, that was lame. You need to like fix that or whatever. Cause we've done so much together. So much together. We did track together and everything. He's like, oh yeah, don't say that. That's not cool. That is way more. You don't want people calling you.
I can't believe I did that. I don't believe that. Don't believe that, y'all.
I remember I used to think to myself, if I can think of anyone that's gonna be honest, it's gonna be Joslyn. And this was before I met your cousin, who's now my husband. And now he's that person. If I can think of anybody that's gonna be honest, it's gonna be Chris. Chris Coleman. He's gonna be honest. He's gonna tell me what I need to know. He's not a yes man. And you wasn't there for me. You wasn't a yes woman. If I wore something you thought was ugly, you'll tell me. Or if you think I should wear the shirt and not the pants, or not only would you tell me, you would assist me in changing it or whatever we need to do. But I said that backstory to say that we grew up together.
Yes.
And now we're doing weekly prayer calls together.
Weekly.
So
7 a.m.
So she mentioned that because she mentioned that because we started back in May? August. So we started back in August, and now it's November at the time of this recording, and I'm still doing it. So she highlighted me on how consistent I was, y'all. She was like, every week I get a text message. All right, it's 6:30. Don't forget 7 o'clock prayer.
Consistent Christian, okay? And you need people like that in your life.
Like that. You need somebody praying for you. Simone had mentioned, she's another best friend of mine. She mentioned to me, Ori, it feels good to know that I got somebody praying for me. She's like, you know how you can guess it? You know, you think people are praying for you, but with you prove it. Like you go live with us and you literally mention our names and you're literally praying. If I don't think nobody else is praying for me, I know you are. And that was like one of the best, it highlighted my day. One of the best compliments I ever received, because it's like, we don't know sometimes. You don't know people's intentions of you. You don't know what they're saying about you behind closed doors. But the fact that she could say she know behind my closed doors is good things being said about her, all glory goes to God. Because God just put in my spirit, we started with a 40-day prayer challenge. And after 40 days, did you finish?
120 days. I didn't finish.
You need to go back and start over.
I was in California, like, read.
Yeah.
Read it.
It's going to change your life. Well, you started seeing some of that when you worked.
You know, I did, but I will honestly say I didn't see it completely because I was a wimpy Christian. I wasn't consistent enough. Yeah. You know, I let my doubts hold me back. I let my anxiousness, you know, just my anxiety, thinking like, okay, well, I need to hurry up. It's only day 10. Dang. Yeah. Before you knew it was day 41.
I made the post. I was like, we made it. We made it.
It was day 15, you know?
Every day.
I want to side note real quick. November of 2016 was my first my first moment when I realized I want to know God more. Oriana, literally, she would tell you, it would be months I wouldn't call her, and I'll just call it crying, and I'm just like stressed out and like, talk to God for me. You know, and it went from me asking Ori to talk to God to me actually going to him for myself, you know. And maybe March of 17, you know, January of 17, she actually told me to get a journal. You know, and she started her prayer journal. Yeah. And, you know, by April, May, I believe she still was doing it. And I probably was on the first page. This is about 5 months later, and I'm just still stressed out. And I'm like, why am I so stressed? But it's like, when I guess being like a wimpy Christian, you get sidetracked. You're not focused. But Oriana was the one person I always called. I always went back to. You know, I always went back to her because I knew that God had a message for her, you know, through her for me. And I knew that he was using her, you know, in my life. So even if I didn't understand what the hell I was going through, why am I going through this, you know, I feel like Ori could help me. I felt like Ori was the reason that I'm getting through it. And to this day, you know, obviously she's not God, but she was the closest thing to a living God for me. And I can honestly say, like, I'm getting chills. Like, I literally can see the difference and feel, not only see it, but feel the difference from when you know how I used to call consistently, you know, and then maybe sporadically, and I'm just like, okay.
And I was okay with either one.
Either way, Ori was going to give the same answer. If she's busy, she's going to make time, you know, and you need people like that, especially when you're struggling as a wimpy Christian. You're struggling. So surround yourself with people who are praying for you, who want you to do better, who are not only praying for you, but living the lifestyle you know that they're supposed to be living and the lifestyle that you want to live. And not just money-wise, not just who got the best chicks and the best kicks, but people who got the most peace. You know, who has little in their bank account, but still has the most joy in their heart. You know what I mean? Because that's true happiness to me. That's true, you know, like godliness to me. And so thank you, Lori.
All glory goes to God. God told me to do that. God told me to extend the 40-day prayer challenge. Like, he had revealed to me all y'all hadn't finished anyway. But he said,
no, he didn't.
He did. I knew y'all hadn't finished. I knew some of y'all was gonna finish, but I had a feeling that everybody was gonna finish. Nelly did finish though. She did.
Okay, I can believe it.
Yeah, she did. She didn't finish in 40 days. She finished maybe at 55, but she finished. Okay. But anyways, he told me to keep praying for them. And then it became like, I have to pray for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, at first it was like, oh, I'm just going to do it until everybody finishes their 40-day prayer challenge. But God's like, no, I want you to make this a thing. Like, you literally pray for your friends. You literally check on them. Because in the past, it's funny how you highlight how many times I've been there. I've always felt like I was the friend that wasn't there. I always felt like I was a friend who was so stuck in my world. And Nelly's called me out about this before. Because I remember one time we were talking, we was catching up, and she was like, I was going through something and I needed you. And I felt so convicted. Because I was like, I got stuff going on too, but I didn't even tell her that. I was just like, I'm sorry. And it's from that day forward, I've been more consistent in y'all lives. I've been texting y'all more and calling y'all more and praying for y'all more. Because it's not about me. It's not about you. It's not about any of us. It's about fulfilling the purpose of bringing glory to God, bringing more people into his household, because we all want to go to the eternal land. We all want to go to heaven. So if we're too focused on us and we're too selfish to do that, we're not fulfilling his purpose anyway. So that's why I do it. I do it to bring more. If I do that for you, you're going to do that for somebody else. Like I said, that domino effect. So wimpiness it's going to come through us multiple times. I'm not saying don't be a wimpy Christian, like don't ever be a wimpy Christian, because you're human. You're going to have wimpiness that comes. Right. But what I'm saying is be aware of it. And once it comes and you're aware of it, you know how to answer it. You know how to attack it. You know how you've already been prepared in the word. Absolutely. You've been prepared through friends that want good from you, from what you see, what you listen to. You've already been spiritually fed in all these possible areas. So when wimpiness comes, you can automatically cast it out. You can cast it out even quicker. That's what the goal of this is. Absolutely. So even with this conversation, Joslyn, of you admitting your faults and you admitting your shortcomings, and even of me mentioning mine, wimpiness is falling off of us. I say a layer of wimpiness, because it's layers to it.
Like a skin, a snake shedding its skin.
That's what's happening right now. You're being encouraged at this very moment, and wimpiness is leaving. And you're going to walk through the rest of this day and through tomorrow feeling stronger than you ever felt, because you did what God told you to do. Don't you feel good?
Oh, I feel
Yes, I'm so proud of you. Like I said before. So, y'all, if y'all didn't get any of that, if y'all didn't get anything, because we kept talking, but if you don't get anything else that we say, know that this is a process and it's layers to it. And then it's going to come off the more you believe in yourself, the more you put action behind your words, and the more you take it one step at a time.
And talk to God.
And talk to God. Report. I love how she
Report
said,
to God.
Report to God. Joslyn, I've enjoyed you.
Thank you, ma'am. I've enjoyed being here.
Oh my God. So you all, when you see the silk press, know that it was Your Beauty LLC. And I will have Joslyn's information in the status, so if you need to book your appointment, you can definitely do that and support the vision that God gave us. Thank you, Joslyn. Thank y'all. I love y'all.